Hey, everybody, we are here with writer director and one twisted guy, Damien Leone. And he is the writer director behind Terrifier and now Terrifier 2. And that's going to be coming out in theaters October 6th from Cinedigm in partnership with Iconic Events. And Damien, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, buddy?
Crazy. I actually am in a little bit of a shell shock because I just finished looking at the film, and
Oh,
uh,
really? Oh boy.
and yowzer, um, man, there are a few movies that make me wince, and
Oh,
this one did it repeatedly. So congrats.
oh,
So it was good. So when you figured out, okay, cool, I'm gonna be able to make a sequel to Terrifier. Okay, how long did it take you to come up with the story for this new film?
I think I wrote the script in 3 solid months, where I really did nothing but write the script. I just stopped. I think it was the first time in my life I got to do nothing but write a script, and I didn't have to work on do another day job while I was writing. So that was interesting, and it was weird because just the way it worked itself out, I could only write this script from like 7 o'clock at night to 5 o'clock in the morning. So it was a really dark period of time where I was just in my dungeon like apartment, just at night, writing this in this headspace. So it was interesting. But I had the character of Sienna in my head for about 10 years. That character is so close to my heart, and I've been wanting to create this female heroine for such a long time.
Hmm.
And so I knew she was going to be this huge element, the huge protagonist, this driving force in it. And I also knew that Art was now officially resurrected, back from the dead, seemingly immortal, like your other characters eventually become. So now I knew there was going to be this heavy supernatural element, and I wasn't just going to gloss over it. I was going to really embrace this element and make it a character in the film. And just finding out how much of that I was going to inject into the story in regards to both characters. There's sort of a good supernatural element and an evil supernatural element sort of driving each other towards one another. So that was exciting. But I mean, the script kind of came together very, very quickly.
Yeah, I think what makes it work is Art's just complete gleeful abandon in how he's just like, yay, violence. Okay, so okay, how did you work to outdo yourself in the sequel? And yeah, you did.
Oh,
Um,
thank you, man.
but yeah, and like, how long did it take you to come up with some of those scenes?
Um, well, the big scene in particular, I don't know if we can go into too many details, but everybody, whenever someone comes up to me talking and they're a fan of Terrifier, they love Art the Clown, and they bring up the hacksaw scene. So
Oh yeah, that's iconic. That's
right.
iconic.
So I knew going into this one, we need to at least rival the hacksaw scene. So what I have said openly is that one of the big kill scenes in this movie was inspired by a photograph of one of Jack the Ripper's victims. And it's a woman's, her remains on a bed, and she's so horribly mutilated that you can barely tell it's a human being anymore. So I said, I'll take that and sort of reverse engineer that, and we'll show how did this victim end up in that state. But that's what you have to do as the writer of Art the Clown. Like when I approach that character, I write him as if I'm writing Jack the Ripper and Satan had a kid, and here he is, and he's just on the loose, and he's also a clown, so he's having a really fun time doing this. So it's like second nature when I write him now. I know what his personality is, and I've been watching horror movies since I'm very young, so I can think of some sadistic things to do to people. But again, it's only believe it or not, people don't realize it because I can go to these areas in a movie, but in reality, I can't even like look at an operation, or if I have friends who are police officers and things and they'll want to show me a picture of something horrible on their phone. I'm like, dude, I don't want to see that. Like, what do you mean you don't want to see that? You do this for a living. I'm like, I don't do that for a living. I mean, that's just a big
I,
difference.
I clay.
Between-
Clay
Big difference
stuff.
between being an artist and playing with clay and silicone. So, yeah.
Yeah, the first film is a very tight 86 minutes, and this one is almost a full hour longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was that intentional, like a go big or go home type of an idea, or did that happen organically?
It did happen organically. I mean, the premise was go big or go home, but I did not think of runtime and say like I have to make this epic. I'm gonna do, make this Sergio Leone kind of freaking horror movie. That was literally the last thing on my mind. It was just writing the organic story, and I think one of the reasons why it's so long is because I really wanted to. There's two reasons why it's the length that it is. One, I really wanted to flesh out my heroes. There's a family, three people in particular, my protagonists, really flesh them out, make them likable, and get on their side, get on their journey, especially the main character of Sienna, played by Lauren Lavera. And the other reason is there's a scene that wouldn't typically, in a traditional sort of narrative structure, there's a scene in this movie that comes in around the 25-minute mark, 20-minute mark. That's almost like a short film in and of itself.
Yeah.
You know what it is, right? Yeah, and it's really a crucial scene in regards to the Sienna character and how it builds her character. I can't really go into too many details.
No spoilers.
Yeah,
no spoilers.
yeah, and that scene sort of just took on a life of its own and it became its own thing. But I mean, that scene is like a 10-minute short film. So if you took that out, which you can't, but whatever. But that's really why the movie is at a 2 hour and 18-minute runtime.
I would like totally watch that show, like
Right.
weekly. But like,
Are you having a hard time getting that jingle out of your head? That's all I hear from people. They curse me.
oh my god, such an earworm. I love it. But okay, question: what is Art's deal anyway? Why does he choose violence? Is it just for violence sake, or I mean, what?
I mean, I think that would be giving away the mystique behind the character. Most people, well, it depends. It's very interesting. I would say it's almost split down the middle. Some people, they really want Art's backstory. I hear it all the time. Are we going to find out who or what he is specifically? Then other people come up to me and say, don't ever reveal what this guy's deal is. Like, that mystique is his power. And I tend to lean toward that. I think if you pull the curtain back and you see the wizard, it's going to all fall apart. But I do, as you can see in this one, we've sprinkled some more nuggets of information, but we've also raised a lot more questions by the time you walk out of this movie, I think, in regards to Art. And, well, I can't give too many spoilers away, but we do raise a lot more questions because I know I'm not done telling this story. So there will be more to learn about Art the Clown in this saga. But he absolutely loves being sadistic and violent. I mean, that's what he's meant to do. Again, like I said, I write this character as if it is the devil on earth, the devil incarnate. What would he do? What would he do if he was in this situation? But he certainly loves what he does.
Yeah, no kidding. So I guess we will be seeing more of Art. Yeah.
Yeah. Safe to say at least one more installment.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. Well, yeah, I mean that's all that I got. But yeah, I enjoyed the new one. Really made me cringe. I think the only other film that made me cringe recently was Suspiria with
the new one.
The oldest destruction scene. So
brilliant scene.
yeah,
Brilliant.
yeah. So yeah,
that's
Good
an honor, man. I
good
appreciate
stuff.
it.
Good stuff. All right. Well, Damien, thank you so much for taking the time. Everyone, Terrifier 2 is going to be in theaters October 6th this year. And Damien, it was a pleasure. Please come back, and I look forward to seeing more Art.
Pleasure's all mine. Thank you, sir.
Right.
Anytime.
Take care.